I catered for vampires. This is what happened. I need to tell someone what happened at the Beaumont estate last Saturday night, because if I don't and I disappear, at least someone will know the truth. My name is Sarah Chen. I'm a private chef in Manhattan, and 6 days ago I catered a dinner party where I was supposed to be the main course. I escaped. Barely. But they know where I live now, and the sun is going down. 2 weeks ago, I got a call that seemed like a miracle. My catering business was failing. 3 months behind on rent, equipment falling apart, living off ramen. Then this smooth, cultured voice offered me $10,000 for a single night's work. 1 dinner party, 8 guests. Saturday night at an estate in Westchester. $10,000. I should have asked why someone would pay that much. I should have asked a lot of things. The client's name was Mr. Beaumont. He gave me specific instructions. Dinner must be served at exactly midnight. The menu was peculiar. All the meat extremely rare, almost raw. Carpaccio, steak tartare, blood sausage, and a standing rib roast, cooked blue rare. Our guests have particular dietary requirements, he said. And Miss Chen? No garlic. Several guests have severe allergies. I thought they were just eccentric rich people. God, I was so naive. I arrived at the estate at 8 p.m. The mansion was beautiful in that old money way. All dark wood and antique furniture, but something felt off immediately. Every window had heavy blackout curtains, every single one. The air inside was cold, much colder than it should have been, and there was this smell, like old copper and roses. Mr. Beaumont met me at the service entrance, tall, pale, impeccably dressed in a suit that probably cost more than my car. His handshake was ice cold. "The kitchen is fully stocked," he said, and his smile didn't reach his eyes. "We're so pleased you could join us, Miss Chen." Join us, not cook for us. Join us. The kitchen was a chef's dream. Sub-zero everything, marble countertops, knives that could cost thousands. I got to work, trying to ignore the unease creeping up my spine. As I prepared the meat, I noticed something strange. The refrigerator had no regular food. No vegetables, no dairy, no bread, just meat and blood. Containers and containers of what looked like blood, labeled with dates and names. "Premium stock," a voice said behind me. I spun around. A woman stood in the doorway, impossibly beautiful, impossibly pale. "Mr. Beaumont sources only the finest ingredients." She was staring at my neck. I kept cooking, but my hands were shaking now. At 10 p.m., I heard them arriving. Expensive cars on the gravel driveway, cultured voices in the foyer. I caught glimpses through the kitchen door. 8 guests, all devastatingly beautiful, all deathly pale, all wearing dark clothing that looked Victorian despite being clearly expensive and modern. Not one of them had arrived before sunset. At 11:30, Mr. Beaumont entered the kitchen. "How is everything progressing, Miss Chen?" "Fine," I managed. "Dinner will be ready at midnight, as requested." "Wonderful." He moved closer, and I could see his eyes in the kitchen light. They were wrong. The pupils too large, the irises almost colorless. "You have a small cut on your hand." I looked down. I'd nicked my thumb on a knife, barely noticeable, just a tiny wound. But the way he was staring at it, the way his nostrils flared. "Let me help you with that," he said, reaching for my hand. I jerked back. "I'm fine, really. I should finish the roast." His expression changed, Something flickered across his face. Hunger, irritation, then that smooth smile again. Of course, we wouldn't want anything to interfere with dinner. The way he said dinner made my blood run cold. He left, but I noticed he didn't blink, not once during our entire conversation. At 11:45, I started plating. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Through the kitchen door, I could hear them in the dining room, their voices low and excited. I caught fragments of conversation. Been so long since we had fresh. Beaumont always finds the most exquisite. I can smell her from here. I dropped a plate. It shattered on the marble floor, and the conversation in the dining room stopped instantly. Total silence. Then I heard it, chairs scraping back, footsteps moving toward the kitchen. I grabbed a kitchen knife without thinking. The door opened, and all 8 of them stood there, backlit by candlelight from the dining room. Their eyes reflected the light like animals, like predators. "Miss Chen," Mr. Beaumont said softly, "it's nearly midnight. Time to serve dinner." "The food is almost ready," I stammered, holding the knife in front of me. "Oh, my dear," the beautiful woman from earlier said, "you misunderstand. You're not the chef." She smiled, and I saw them. Fangs, long, sharp, and very real. "You're the appetizer." Time seemed to slow down. Everything I'd ignored suddenly made horrible sense. The cold house, the blackout curtains, no garlic, only rare meat, the way they'd all arrived after sunset, the containers of blood labeled with names, previous chefs. "The dinner," Mr. Beaumont said, stepping forward, "was never for our consumption. It was for yours. We find that a last meal improves the flavor. Fear, you see, makes the blood acidic, but a satisfied final appetite, a moment of peace before the end, that creates the most exquisite taste." They moved toward me in perfect synchronization, a semicircle of pale faces and hungry eyes. I did the only thing I could think of. I grabbed the pot of boiling stock from the stove and threw it at the nearest one. He screamed, a sound like nothing human, and the others recoiled. I ran. Out the kitchen door, through a hallway I'd never seen, their footsteps behind me, impossibly fast. A door, locked. Another, locked. They were hurting me, playing with me. I could hear them laughing. Then I saw it. A window. The curtains were drawn, but I could see a sliver of moonlight at the edge. I grabbed a chair, hurled it through the glass, and dove through. I hit the ground hard, glass shredding my arms, and ran. Behind me, I heard Mr. Beaumont's voice, calm and amused. "Run if you like, Miss Chen, but you accepted our payment. You took our money. That means you agreed to the contract. And we always collect what we're owed." I ran through the woods, bleeding, terrified, until I hit the main road and flagged down a car. The police found nothing. The Beaumont estate was empty. No furniture, no kitchen equipment, no evidence anyone had been there in years. The real estate records showed it abandoned since 1987. My kitchen equipment that I'd brought? Gone. The $10,000 check? When I tried to deposit it the next day, the bank said the account didn't exist. Had never existed. But my cuts were real. The glass in my skin was real. And the business card Mr. Beaumont had given me? Still in my pocket. Heavy stock, embossed lettering. Beaumont Dining Collective. Established 1743. Fine cuisine for discerning palates. I thought I'd escaped. I thought I was safe. But 3 days ago, I found a container in my refrigerator. I don't know how it got there. I live in a 4th-floor apartment with a security system. The door was locked. The windows were sealed. But there it was. A crystal container filled with dark red liquid and a note in elegant handwriting. Dear Miss Chen, we greatly enjoyed your company, and we're sorry our dinner was interrupted. Consider this a gesture of goodwill, a token of our appreciation for the evening's entertainment, a down payment, if you will. We do hope you'll reconsider our invitation. Next Saturday, midnight, same terms, $10,000. You know where to find us. After all, you're already under contract. And below that, in smaller letters, P.S. The liquid is complimentary, a gift. We think you'll find it nourishing. I threw the container away. I moved apartments twice. I changed my phone number. But last night, I found another one in my new refrigerator, then another this morning on my kitchen counter. And here's the thing that terrifies me most. I'm thirsty, constantly thirsty. My skin has gotten paler. I can't eat solid food anymore. The thought of it makes me sick. And when I smell blood, when I even think about blood, I understand now. The contract wasn't just about that night. The moment I accepted their money, the moment I stepped foot in that house, something changed. The liquid they keep leaving me, it's not a gift, it's a transformation. I've started researching them. The Beaumont Dining Collective. They're real. I found newspaper clippings from 1923, 1847, 1756. Always the same names, the same pale faces, the same elegant handwriting. They've been operating for centuries, always hiring chefs, always the same pattern. And I've realized something worse. I'm not the first chef to escape. There's a support group. I found it online. 17 people, all chefs, all hired by different dining collectives in different cities, all experiencing the same symptoms, all finding containers of blood appearing in their homes despite locked doors and security systems, all slowly transforming. The sun is setting outside my window right now. I can feel it happening. That pull, that hunger. My reflection in the mirror is getting harder to see. And I know, deep down, that next Saturday at midnight, I'm going to walk to that address, even though I don't want to. The contract, you see, is binding. And Mr. Beaumont always collects what he's owed. If you receive an invitation to a dinner party, if someone offers you an impossible amount of money for one night of work, if they specify no garlic and insist on rare meat and a midnight start time, run. Because they're not looking for a chef. They're looking for someone to join the collective. And once you've accepted their money, once you've signed that contract in blood, you'll never be able to leave. The sun has just set. I can hear knocking at my door, polite, patient, familiar. I think it's time for me to keep my appointment. The end. Sleep well, and if someone calls you about a dinner party, don't answer. Thanks for watching. I hope you consider subscribing for weekly videos.